melee on the side of GhostingFarm. We've got the Armors Warrior, we've got the Frosty Cave, we've got the Retribution Paladin, we've got Ash and Zito on that Rogue there as well. We've got the Guardian Druid on the side of Bigburstovic. They've got 2 Warlocks and they've got that double Druid, and it looks as though once again they are setting up for that middle area knockback. Eddie, you said 15 yesterday for the knockbacks. Are you going for the same amount today?
I think with Bobby on the team as well now, I think we're gonna go maybe 20 actually. Blue Iron is really good at utilizing his knock as well, and also GhostingFarm. I really like their melee setup. This is a very enclosed map, especially looking at the middle here where you fight for the flag. So whenever the red pops anything, he's pretty much gonna hit every enemy player, and the same goes for the Warrior and the DK. So I actually always prefer heavy melee here in the middle, especially due to the enclosed encounters we have as we see right now.
I mean, taking a look at the setups we have here, Galu, is there anything that kind of immediately strikes you as kind of saying, okay, we're going to see the same from Big Burster Vic, and GhostingFarm are going to negate this pretty easily?
Yeah, I mean, Big Burster Vic, they've gone for the double Warlock, so they've got the double Rift here. So they just want to be knocking on cooldown, and I think melees are quite susceptible to that. All of their classes are quite susceptible to that, really. Ret can't get back. Warrior, he can leap, I suppose, but other than that, everyone's going to be flying this game, so here comes the Rift already.
Oh, it got cancelled.
Any knocks. Oh. Yeah, man is inking already as well.
Yeah, we do see that. Yeah,
he gets the trinket here. Yeah. No, Chavi will be in time with the Moonfire. Okay,
yeah,
luckily. If he got the trinket, that would be really important. A guy with no trinket is really hard.
I mean, seeing what Man was doing there, obviously on the side of Big Burstovic, trying to see if they could potentially ninja one of the spots away from GhostingFarm. Does that immediately give GhostingFarm an idea of what to expect? Are they going to be looking out for this, which may potentially open up more opportunities further on down the line for Big Burstovic, Eddie?
Yeah, they definitely will. And this is a classic Man tactic. Man, he's also known as Light. He actually plays both Doomy and DH, and even also some other classes, but he's mostly known for his Boomkin. He always likes to take these aggressive plays. And wow, big knock, 2 melees flying up from GhostingFarm. That allows Big Burstovic to start hitting healers here in middle. I would for sure at least start pushing the pressure on them with 2 melees down here, but also in the start we saw Invade die. They did stabilize after it. So it seems like it's fine, but great pop by Asta, about to fly off, and Sarat's flying. He even got gripped back in, but it simply wasn't enough. Or he didn't grip, he gripped himself back in, but I mean, unfortunate situation. The knocks are just too strong.
Playing that self-grip legendary to try and get back on, but it goes on cooldown, doesn't even get back up, unfortunately. So all their healers. When they're running back in, Nefu getting Cyclone, now Zuxa, he can maybe drop here. If he drops here, this is huge to the side of Big Burster Vic. He's almost, though, he has Tree of Life up, and he's got no mana, though, anyway. Serad going to come back into the fight soon. Blesovic getting some drinks. Huge mana lead on Big Burster Vic compared to GhostingFarm. I think GhostingFarm could be losing mid very, very soon if they get a few more rifts off. Kak moving in here, getting that rift placed down. He is ready to just knock the boys off, send them on the airlines, and I think that's going to score the first team fight very, very soon.
We do see Astalicious go down on the side of Big Burstovic, though, and I want to point out, I mean, we're seeing once again Female Simp getting knocked off. There we go. There's another knock for the side of Big Burstovic, but again, they're getting these knocks, and what else are they getting outside of that? They're getting the knocks, but it hasn't turned so far in their favor. They're still basically brawling in the middle of the map. Now, is it going to be, are they basically going in for the long play here? We're seeing Bobby taking a bunch of damage. Man also doing exactly everything that they can. Sonar is currently over here getting a drink off as well. The mana lead is getting relatively big for Big Burstovic against GhostingFarm, but once again, they're getting these knocks, but where's the pressure? Where's the flag capture? What else are they doing? They're getting these knocks. Yeah, it's going to look really, really nice at the end of Battleground stats, but what else are you achieving?
Yeah, it seems like they don't achieve much as of now, and here we see great play from Chavi. Yeah, man was sitting there backline, stopping Suex's drinks. He actually managed to stop them for a whole minute before he got the drink now here in the end. So great play from man. Sadly, this didn't amount to much, right? And that is the game, right? I mean, if you're stopping drinks, you also lose a DPS in middle, right? So it's always a trade-off. Sometimes it's worth to let the healer drink and then commit to some kills, and then when he comes back, then you can start focusing the only healer with mana. And Bobby's off here, that means that the Big Burstovic won't have any mass grips into knocks now in middle. However, they still have the Warlock, so they should be okay. But as you mentioned, this is a complete stalemate. Both points equal, so whoever gets the first base, the first black, they will pull in the lead.
Yeah, and you know, we've mentioned what Big Burstovic are doing. We saw them doing this yesterday against E-Heroes. But Gelu, what have GhostingFarm to do here to pull ahead? Because, you know, you don't want to end up giving up the flag here, but at the same time, you need to do something to take the pressure off. And killing Invade is probably going to be a big part of that, because that then reduces the healing output on the side of Big Burstovic. This could be the opportunity that GhostingFarm need.
I mean, this team fight is really back and forth, so Ash and Zisou doesn't really want to overextend and risk just hunting the game, and neither does Kazette, because yeah, man, it's just there, ready to go and take that base. As I say that, though, he does go down. So GhostingFarm moving ahead in this team fight so far. Bobby just runs back in. He'd look for some more grips. Destru War down there. Grip knock failing, of course. Nefu runs to the back, tries to get a drink off. Kak goes down as well. There is the numbers lead on GhostingFarm right now, but if they can't get the healers down, then it just, once again, is just going to stalemate for a very long time.
Yeah, and I
Speaking
think
of getting the healers down, Sonar just goes absolutely fly. I think Sonar's going to end up in the Grand, judging by how far Sonar just flew off the map there. So Sonar is down. So that, once again, does potentially open up a chance for GhostingFarm to start stepping further and further into Big Burstovic. Female Sim going down on the other side, though, for GhostingFarm. And this is just an absolute free-for-all. We've got people flying left and right off the map. Bobby goes as well on the side of Big Burstovic. This is starting to get a little bit ridiculous with the amount of players that are flying off. But once again, it technically is meaning absolutely nothing for this team fight here in the middle. Destru War going down. Serad is under a lot of pressure here. Absolutely zero mana. Once again, who's going to be taking the advantage here? Kagmaster is now flying off the edge. This is just ridiculous. Are they trying to score points by knocking people off? Because that's how it feels currently.
it's really ridiculous, and honestly, every knock just means that even though if we see Big Burstovic, sure, they may be in a slight lead mana-wise, but as soon as you lose a few DPS to the knocks, even though a healer is off, then, I mean, you just reset the fight, right? So it's very important that you may try at least maybe to save your trinket to avoid getting knocked, but again, it is very hard. Now, what would you do? Both teams are essentially playing a draw right now. If you want to do something, what I would do right now is, both teams, they have Rogue, Guardian, Defend. What I would have done is ink the Rogue. The traditional ink on a Rogue is that both Guardian and Rogue, they ghost. You go to the Rogue space, the Guardian presses Incarn. That means that the Rogue needs to open on the Guardian. He can't zap him or blind him to avoid the cap. Usually the Rogue opens with a duel, but then the Guardian will then raw him and then clone him and force his trinket, unless the Druid, the Rogue pops his evasion to avoid the raw. But regardless, the plan is with inking the Rogue Guardian is that the Rogue will have to open, and the Rogue can instantly CC him in many cases. And if that happens, they can lose it in literally 10 seconds. So I expect, if it's a drawn-out fight, that we're gonna see some ghosting and an ink on the Rogue.
Yeah, for sure. I really expect these Rogues to start inking soon. My prediction for this match is someone inks a base, and then that base that gets ghosted gets capped.
Okay.
That's just how I feel like it's gonna go.
I mean that's a big possibility. Yeah.
Saying that, we see Big Burstovic, actually, they're losing players. Astalicious and Bobby died there, and I believe Bobby died without flying off the map. That was just pure damage coming out from GhostingFarm, so a very rare kill here on Eye of the Storm between these two teams. But once again, they're getting these two DPS players down, and the pressure is telling for absolutely nothing because they're not getting the healers down. The Zoo Hex currently looking tapped on mana. Blesovic is not far behind, but I imagine Blesovic is just dropping back. You can see in the background there, Blesovic dropping back for the drink. And again, it's a complete and utter stalemate. The scores are completely tied. And the team that manages to get that big change, that is a big knock though. That's a big knock. That's what you want to see. We see 3 players there getting knocked off. No, 4 players. Invade, Bobby, Catch Me, and Kagmaster all dropping at the same time. This could be what GhostingFarm need. 4 players down. They need to be able to push through, and that, it looks like, is exactly what is happening here. They are trying to push as many people off. We see Ash and Zito coming over there, trying to potentially get a ninja. Is that going to work out for them? Burstovic are going to have their players back in the next 3 seconds. GhostingFarm have to make this count, and they've done exactly that. They have picked up the flag. This flag has been picked up. Chavi Druid is going to take it. They are going to score. GhostingFarm will take the lead here. That is huge in the response. And Ash and Zito, is Ash and Zito going to grab this? Is he going to be able to grab it? It doesn't look like he is. Doesn't look like he is. So they are going to cap this flag now. They were kind of pausing on that one, making sure that they could, making sure that they couldn't. They had to wait to see if they could get that third base. And I do really like this. Is they're currently just sat here waiting with this flag because they know that Big Burstovic have to come after them.
And I think the reason why we saw Ashen over by the Guardian's base was that he probably assumed that when they got the 4-man knock that they were to see the Guardian in middle so he could cap the base. However, the flag was actually picked up so fast that the Guardian didn't even manage to rotate before it could have been a possibility. So, but still a good idea from Ashen here, and this puts the Big Burster Vic on the back foot. They need to do something to get back now. We see Cassette here floating by the Guardian base. Now, I don't particularly like inking the Guardian. I really feel like if the Guardian doesn't fuck up, actually, they won't get it. So, for me, it's the wrong base they choose. But now, Big Burster Vic, they're not even in mid. The flag is capped. They should move, I think. They're trying to ink here, but
yeah, Bobby here defending, trying to stop last best. Sorry, yeah, they're currently trying to get, and there's a lot of Big Burstovic around here. Looks like they may be able to get this, actually. If they're able to get this, this could be huge.
Gonna get it. Yeah.
They get it, yeah. And last best, what happened was for Rogues. So the thing is with Saps is that when Saps goes down to under 4 seconds, then the Rogue can't spam Sap anymore. He will just reapply his Sap. But as if he trinkets too early, the Rogue can just keep spamming Sap and gets his trinket. So last best, if he want to trinket early, he needs to trinket the first Sap he gets, so he doesn't, there's a global cooldown on the Sap, so he doesn't get reset. However, he failed.
Yeah, Chavi Druid with the flag there, potentially going over to try and help retake this space. Doesn't look like it's paid off, so they are heading towards that Fell Reaver ruins. Going to cap this. They are still going to have the lead, but if Big Burstovic can hold on to this, this could be massive for the game. It looks as though we did have a stalemate for the longest time, but all of a sudden at the 11-minute mark, this game has absolutely exploded into life, Galu.
Yeah, it looks like GhostingFarm is going to keep trying to run flags, trying to keep the point advantage that they have, because I think they could still win if they just keep running flags consistently is what they want to try and do. Don't want to let Big Burstovic get too far ahead, because getting this base back is going to be a real big pain.
I mean, what do we do now? As GhostingFarm, they can keep going for middle. I mean, if they secure this flag, maybe they are actually on track to just win by flags. However, if Big Burst we can spin as we see they're doing now, they have both
they're getting stops.
Bobby, yeah, they're getting stopped. So, and with this knock, wow, now they can. Oh,
Zoohex, you absolute gamer, staying on there. That was so close.
They tapped it.
Yeah, GhostingFarm have retaken it. GhostingFarm have retaken it, so they are still in the lead. And Big Burstovic now, they have to really take a look at what they want to do. They need to capture this flag, potentially get the points. But if it stays like this is GhostingFarm's.
Yeah, it is, especially now looking at the points. I think if Big Burstovic secures one flag, they will pull ahead judging for the points. One capture with 2 bases equals 75 points, so we can do the math when GhostingFarm has the second base and see how close they are in reality. But honestly, I would have liked to see what happened. How did GhostingFarm manage to get a base back? I assume that they simply just killed Big Burstovic. We saw all 3 healers on the graveyard, so that's probably what happened. But right now, GhostingFarm in a comfortable position. Honestly, they can just spin mid now and hold their bases and always ink. Like, if I were GhostingFarm, I would keep sending one of my Stilfos to the enemy base just to thin out the team fight so they don't wipe here. And, I mean, it's their game to lose now.
Do you think that Big Burstovic committing to stopping the recap from the flag in the middle was worth losing the base? I'm not entirely sure it was the right choice.
I agree here. I don't think it's worth losing the base for it. I still think it's better to secure the bases and then stabilize and then go for mid, right? Worst case, you send your Guardian to mid. If they're fighting at your base, right, you don't need your Guardian to defend there. He can spin in middle, so you can always...
What did Catch Me just do?
Wow.
Wow. What did he just do? He managed to escape it and then jumped straight back into the Ring of Peace and knocked himself off. What was that about?
I mean, it's clearly just not his tournament. I didn't see if the Ring of Peace came after, but the wild charge was not what he expected, I think. However, it seems like if Bigburstovic can manage to secure one flag, they will pull ahead, but with 200 points left in the bank for GhostingFarm, it gets harder and harder.
Exactly. Bigburstovic need to do something here. They absolutely need to take advantage of the situation. Looks as though it isn't happening currently. Sarah does go flying on the side of GhostingFarm. I don't believe Sarah did come back, so that is a healer down on the side of GhostingFarm. Bigburstovic needs to take advantage of this. They need to push hard. Whether or not they capture this flag, whether or not they get one of the other bases, but something has to happen. They are 60 points behind GhostingFarm. There are only less than 200 points left until GhostingFarm do take this. They need to capture this flag, and it needs to happen now.
Yeah, they swapped Kazette into the team fight as well instead of defending now. Maybe thinking those stun locks will allow them to get the kills. It also allows him to break off easier to Ninja if GhostingFarm try and go offensive. Airman now breaking off, maybe trying to stop a drink, maybe trying to go for a new base. Stopping Serad here from getting a drink. No, he's trying to stop him from peeling off.
But I mean, sure, you stop drinks, but how do you win mid if, I mean, I like the idea of stopping drinks because you have to, but then again, if you don't secure one flag, it's over. They need one.
It doesn't look like it's going to happen. I don't see anything. There's not enough happening here. Destiny War goes down. The warrior goes down for GhostingFarm, but the healers are all still up. That doesn't mean anything. We do see female Sim dropping down again. A player's down, but Bigburstovic are doing nothing with it.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, Bigburstovic needs to get back to the drawing board. They are playing double Warlock with double Rift, and they are utilizing it, but they still only have one disc. So you essentially are playing around your disc knock and the Monk ring, right? So I feel like maybe the double Warlock isn't really paying off, and we saw the same yesterday, right? Like, it's not like they won middle yesterday either. And here we see RBG coach going for the base as well. Just a large effort just to see if they can capture it. But even if they were to capture it, they would still win. And they left now. Yeah.
Yep, they're leaving. They knew it was over, but what a game that was for a period there. It looked as though Bigburstovic maybe could have done enough, but as mentioned, Galu, unfortunately, they spent so much time trying to stop GhostingFarm from capping the flag in the middle, they completely forgot about the rest of the map.
Yeah, I really don't think it was worth sacrificing the base and spinning mid. Like, they get so few points for just capping flags compared to having 3 bases, and they weren't even that far behind. I'm not sure, maybe they could have been picked. I mean, caught up if they just slowed the flag carrier a little bit and held on to 3.
Yeah. 3 gives you way more points than just 1, so I completely agree here, Gelo.
I think what happened with Catch Me there as well is the Ring of Peace came down to knock both him and the other druid off, and they managed to jump back onto mid, and then Catch Me took the Warlock portal that put him back into the Ring of Peace and knocked him off again.
Oh, he did? Oh,
I believe that is what happened.
That's unfortunate. An unfortunate situation for Catch Me. I mean, that's just unlucky. You could probably assume where the game was going, but still, maybe you can't clandor him for that one. What do you think, Gelo? Do you think it was his mistake?
Yeah.
Okay. It's his mistake. We are done.
Wow.
It's GhostingFarm taking first game.
So toxic.